Most theology is interacting with historical theology, to tell you the truth. So if you're going to write a systematic theology and have something that's contributing to the field of systematic theology, if you want it to be scholarly, you have to know all the scholarly works, and you have to interact with the best works out there. And if you neglect a work, if you don't deal with Barth, or you don't deal with Calvin, if you miss someone's going to read you and go, well, you didn't deal with this, therefore, how do I know you know what you're talking about? And that's kind of sad in one way. It's sad because a lot of the scholarship doesn't compute down to the church pew. However, another sadness is when we neglect historical theology. I could be called a biblicist in many good ways, but as a biblicist, I would not promote overlooking theological history. I don't think we are standing on the shoulders of giants. And if we had to do theology on an island with just our Bibles, we would probably prone into some type of heretical error. And if we did escape error, we would not get as far as we could if we did learn from those who've gone before us. This is why I think it's important to read theological books. I do believe we need to live in the Bible, because the Bible, there's life, there's nutrients, there's substance there that you don't get in other works. But at the same time, you want to be able to learn from those who've spent their lives on a topic. This is why I think it's important to read books. Most books, it takes people 2 or 3 years to write. And some books, it takes a lifetime. Like Calvin spent his whole life writing the Institutes. You can go and read that probably within 2 months or 3 months reading. Obviously, you're not going to know it thoroughly, but you can learn so much that it took his whole life to learn. And if you didn't have it, I mean, it's like say a book took a year to write. It's just a common book on one little particular topic. And they spent a whole year writing that. And you can come behind that and take a day or 2 days reading that and thoroughly studying and understanding the logic and the argument. And you take that year's worth of study and you've just assimilated it into a day or two. And that's why we want to learn from others. We don't want to think, hey, we can do all of theology by ourselves. And so we need to look to those who've gone before us and study. So I do think it's important to be historical in our theology. To look at the confessions, look at the creeds, and glean from them. I think we evaluate all of our theology in every historical book based upon the scriptures. So the scriptures are standard, is a rule, but we don't want to neglect systematic theology as it's done historically, historical theology.